To start this week off, we are at
the San Luis Lake State Wildlife Area.
The area has how many parking spots? Oh, I don't know. About 40 sites. Each site has a little covered picnic area.
A fire pit with a grill. There are pit toilets, and every site has working electricity for your rig. You're killing me. Toaster.
Psycho.
I'm in this video. Ready?
To camp here, you need to have an annual fishing or hunting license. When we came in, the camp host did check. He did check if both of us had one. We were under the impression that it was going to just be one per vehicle. Good news is we both have one, but keep that in mind.
Yeah, and if you don't have a hunting or fishing license, you can have like a state parks pass for the state of Colorado. And that will get you in here as well. But those are the only 3 ways that you can get in here. So you have to pay either way, but you do have to have some kind of way to get in here.
After driving on the rough roads from East Fork, our little cupboard kind of got messed up and was pulling away from the wall, so we ended up taking an L bracket and drilling it in. Hopefully that keeps it sturdy and up against the wall.
Yeah, we're lucky that we had some of those left over from an earlier project on the van and decided to pack them with us. So if it ends up holding, I think we're going to buy more L brackets and put them in the rest of the cabinets just for insurance.
So we're going to spend the night here, and then tomorrow we're going to the Great Sand Dunes, and in 2 days we're going to the Gutted event.
Yeah, so we'll be hanging around here on and off for a few days. You are supposed to be able to fish in the lake here, but it's pretty low, the level, especially on this side where we are camping. So I'm not sure how we would get around there to go fishing. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing any fishing while we're here, but we'll just have to see. But if you're looking for a nice place to stay, with bathrooms and some amenities that's right outside of the Great Sand Dunes National Park, this is the place for you.
So before we lose all of our daylight, we just wanted to give a quick update. There are a ton of fire ants here. They got all 4 of our dogs.
Yeah.
And the flies are relentless.
They're bothering her a little more than me. There's like 2 in the van that she's been hunting for the last hour.
Because there was 4.
Get them, but,
yeah,
you know.
I mean, I don't like flies in the van, and they're like on the screen too, like multiples trying to get in. Mostly due to the fire ants, we're not going to stay here another night. We're going to come back after the Great Sand Dunes tomorrow, but now we're going to go to BLM land.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even sit outside with the dogs because they're being attacked by the fire ants. So it's not safe for them. It's not enjoyable for us. I'm sure this place is lovely in wintertime, you know, maybe fall and spring. But right now at the tail end of summer, it is hot during the day and not enjoyable with all the bugs in the evening.
All right, after breakfast and walking the dogs, we are heading to the Great Sand Dunes. Yeah.
Watch me go. I got the voice and I got that flow. For all the girls, gotta let them know. We the ones that run this show.
Subscribe to our channel. That was a blast.
Yeah, it was way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we did fall, but not as much as I thought we would.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be eating sand for pretty much the entire time we were out there.
Yeah. We found a BLM spot for the night before we head out to Gutted.
So yeah, I have a website. It's called Vanning Ain't No Joke, because they try to make it look like sunshine rainbows on the internet, but vanning ain't no joke, I warned you. And then like I make like stickers and shirts, like the Shitty Awesome shirt. It's the Art of Imperfection. We got like Public Landowner. The future is the future. Van life's not a crime.
Yeah.
Say no to rent. If you lived in your car, you'd order your home. All sorts of good stuff.
Cool.
A random Queen sticker.
And where can we find you?
vanningaintnojoke.com.
Okay. Just keep going. I'm trying. Oh man. You got it. You got it. Everybody's got it. Nope. The next day after Gutted, we went and visited the Stupa of Enlightenment. The stupa represents the Buddha's body, speech, and most especially mind. So we've had a few days to reflect on the Gutted event, and we have a few takeaways for sure.
So first of all, this is based off of a day pass only. We, didn't find out about the event until everything else was sold out, so we didn't spend the night there. We weren't there for multiple days like some other people that we know. We were only there for one day.
Also, this is their first year, so there's obviously going to be some growing pains. First, social media coverage and everything was pretty terrible.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of information being put out, or really what I would consider hyped up for the event, especially the week leading up to. Now, I know that it was Labor Day weekend, but when you're running an event like that and you want to get people excited about it and you want to try to sell more of those day passes and get more people out there, it doesn't matter if it's a holiday weekend or not. You're hyping it up on every channel, every forum, every vlog, everywhere that you possibly can to get the word out to people.
Secondly, the location and the road leading to the location were not the best. I'm just gonna say, you see in the video you see our footage, and that is not us being dramatic. The road was that bad.
To give them a little bit, I understand that from what we were told, this was not the original event location. I guess the event location was somewhere about 5 miles down the road. We actually passed it on the way to the BLM camping the night before. We saw like a sign, and then we found out later that that's where it was supposed to be. We don't know the details of what happened. All we were told was that that land wasn't ready for the event in time, and so they had to move it last minute. So they literally moved it to some guy's property out there who, lives sustainably out there by himself, and I think they pretty much came in and like dug the roads out the day before to get people back to the event. So with that being said, there probably wasn't a whole lot of time for them to install a proper road to get people back there. However, we feel that considering the event went on for 5 days, there should have been maybe more effort put into getting some gravel out there, getting somebody out there to fix the road at some point, instead of waiting till the very last day when they assumed everybody was going to be leaving, to now have a bottleneck of trying to get people out of there while installing gravel in the road to try to make it less sandy so people wouldn't get stuck. I mean, in a nutshell, people were getting stuck out there all weekend because, let's face it, like, a majority of people that attended this event and, you know, that are out on the road living in their vans, they're in two-wheel drive vans.
Yeah.
They're not in, you know, really expensive 4x4 Sprinters or Sportmobiles or, you know, 4x4 trucks. I mean, there were a few of those out there. But a majority of the people that I think that are currently subscribing to this lifestyle are in a ProMaster, a Transit, or a Sprinter that are all two-wheel drive, or the smaller Transit Connects or whatever, you know, or their cars. And this was probably the deepest, sandiest road that I have ever been on, four-wheel drive or not. And I think we were very lucky to have gotten out of there and not needed a tow. But from what we understand, there were people out there being towed off the road all weekend long.
Look, people, I did a brick when I drove through that. Sorry for the language, but I was so nervous.
All right, one more thing about the road. When they installed the road, it was only one way. There was only one lane. And so when we got to the event, we were told, oh, well, they were trying to do like these off hours, right? Where, like, you know, the odd hours was people coming into the event, and the even hours were people going out of the event. But there was zero communication about that.
Well, that's what I was going to get to next. The majority of the communication was on an app that you had to download just to go to this event, and people were communicating there. Now, that's fine and dandy, but a lot of people don't want to do that, or download an app or have the ability in that environment too, because they don't have the service. So they needed to put more things on the email the confirmation email in regard to those, you know, they should be updating that information prior to. In addition, they didn't have water available for people. Now, I know going into an event and you live in a van, you should have water, but you know, there were some people who ran out of water and they were relying on the community, which came through on this app, to provide them water. But, you know, if you're gonna hold an event out in the middle of the desert, you should have some water, not just for the people working on the rigs, but for everybody. In regards to the people working on the rigs, it was under a tent, and if you're attending the event, you really couldn't see what was going on. They really needed to separate all the rigs and have some aisles that you could walk through and kind of see what was going on, because you had no idea what they were doing, because no one was coming out and talking to you. They were just working on the rigs, and you couldn't really go in and see. To be honest, the main focus of this event was the TV series that they're trying to record, and in my personal opinion, they didn't care about the attendants who paid to be there. They cared about what the TV crew was doing, and they hushed us all the time. Don't talk to your neighbors because we're recording over here, and this, that, and the other. And I feel like it was very focused on the fact that they were making some sort of TV series or pilot for a TV show, and they wanted that to be the star. But when we paid $40 for a day pass, and some of these people were paying $200 for 5 days, you shouldn't be taken away from our experience. You should be trying to provide us the best experience possible. That's my takeaway. But we met some awesome people. We really did get to have interactions with the community that we have not had up to this point. And for me, an extrovert, that was something that I was needing in the moment. And so, you know, meeting some great friends that we're going to be meeting up with in the future and things of that nature was important. So if they have a staging area for people recording that they can bring them to, and we're not having to be hushed talking to a new neighbor we met, I think that would be a better way for them to go. So just drive your rig over here, we're gonna record you, and then you could drive back to wherever you're parked at, but then we're not stopping the people over here who are trying to play music or have a conversation or whatever.
Yeah, so we were basically kicked out of 2 areas. We were stopped over in one area, talking to one adventure at a time.
Hi, Dave and Carrie and Rudolph.
And they were like at the van next door, which wasn't even these people's van, I guess, trying to record whatever the segment was that they're doing. We're still not really 100% sure what the heck is going on with this TV show that they're trying to do, but anyway, and they came over and shushed us twice and told us to keep the conversation down because they were trying to record and their mics are really sensitive. So we left and we went back over to where our van was parked. And Dave and Carrie came over there and everybody was hanging out and we were meeting new people and showing each other vans and we were over there. And then like 30 minutes later, they had moved the production to some trailer that wasn't even near us at that point. It was probably like 50 feet across from where we were parked. And they came over and they shushed us again and told us to move. I get that they're trying to do whatever it is with this TV show. It's my opinion that I think some people were sitting around one day, like, you know, camping out somewhere or whatever, and they were like, hey, wouldn't it be rad if we did this TV program where people like came and remodeled a van, an RV, and a schoolie? You know, oh yeah, and then we'll invite people. But the inviting people was very secondary, like Katie said.
The events that they had were very secondary, like a secondary thought. It just wasn't executed 100%.
Yeah. I would say overall we had a great time because we met a lot of really cool people who we ended up camping with a few days after that. And we got to talk videos and get resources and all of that kind of great stuff. But I hope if they decide to do this event next year that they have a little bit more of an organizing team for the event itself and less worry about what's going on with the production team.
Thank you so much for watching this week. If you like van life and travel, please consider giving this channel a subscribe and liking this video.
And don't forget to look us up on Instagram for all the in-between stuff.
And until next time,
Bye.
bye.